I've committed to something because it's the way that I need to proceed forward. Sorry, the light is so bright. I'm just keeping my eyes closed because it's midnight. What did I have, what have I committed to? I'm gonna self-fund a trip to every country in the world. This has been a goal of mine for 3 years now, to travel to every country in the world, 200 countries. That's the idea. There's 196 countries. There's 4 that are like fringe countries, or 195 and 5, something like that. And I'm gonna travel to all 200 of them in the shortest amount of time ever done by one human being. And I wanna self-fund this trip because I could get tons of money from brands. I really don't think I'd have an issue. But here's the catch. If I do that, I have an amazing story, but I haven't built anything for myself. Eventually, along this path of becoming an entrepreneur, I have to do some type of social media series to build a brand. And so then if I kick the can down the road after 200 countries, well, the biggest thing that I'll do with my life, I'm wasting the opportunity. Maybe the biggest social media series I ever do, maybe, should be the thing that kickstarts a brand. So if I travel to every country in the world and break the world record fastest trip, and I have tons of viral videos and so much PR and all these people interviewing me, and then I'm wearing someone else's logo, yeah, of course a brand is going to want to pay for that. Of course a brand is going to give me a ton of money. What I learned from the 7 Continents series, I can get a ton of views for a series. People love it. And I can promote something. And so then why would I promote someone else's brand? At all. Like, I know that that's just a naive thing to say for most people, but I'm the anomaly. I have to keep that in mind. I am different in every way, shape, and form. I am not the same. So from that lens, it makes perfect sense for me, and maybe not anyone else, to start a clothing brand and to commit to self-funding this trip to every country in the world by selling wood, maybe building tables, and ultimately selling clothing, shorts, to be able to go do this adventure. That's what makes the most sense for me. For most people, it does not make sense. The hard part now is actually following through on this idea, because I know that it makes the most sense, and it mentally it is so difficult. You see this? Apple sent me this watch. The company, Apple, that I'm filming this video on their phone. They sent me that watch, and on Monday, it's Friday night. Monday they want me to be at an event in Los Angeles. I'm in Atlanta. A creator event talking about the Apple Watch. And most likely in a year or a month or two, I can do a sponsored post with Apple. Hoka reached out today. They sent me an email that they want to send me a pair of shoes. ASICS sent me a pair of shoes. New Balance, they're in the mail right now. 3 different pairs. It's never going to be difficult to partner with brands, because I'm the guy. And I know that. I make good content, and I've worked really hard for this, and I've worked 5 years to have the social media know-how and the personality and like the skills, and I've worked hard for this. I'm less able to act on my vision if I take sponsored posts, because I don't own anything. I finished the 7 Wonders of the World series and the 200 country series, and I get back and I've got a great story to tell and no debt and maybe $100,000 to my name. That's nothing for the life path that I want. Like, a lot of people, that's, oh goodness. A lot of people, that's everything, right? That's traveling to every country in the world, having that story. But stories, like, stories are great, but don't live strictly for the story. Like, build something with your life. Eventually, you have to own a business that makes money. You can have a great story. But you can't just live out for the story all the time. Like, make for a better story, yes, but eventually you gotta do something with the time that God has given you here. Sell something valuable. That's honestly what it is. I have a lot of mental strain committing to this idea. I don't think it makes sense for most people. I gotta keep in mind, it's not gonna be the easy route, but it makes sense for me. Because even if it takes me an extra year, in the short term, that's fine. Because if I travel to every country in the world, in the interim, I can still take sponsored posts. It's just when I start the 200 countries trip, I'm going to be funding that trip by myself. If that's 2027, so be it. I think it'll be at the start of 2026. $4,500 pairs of shorts. There's so many reasons why this makes sense, even though it just doesn't make sense. But like, I know that if I build a brand, this is the most difficult thing you can do, is launch a brand while trying to self-fund a trip to every country in the world while being in debt. Like, these are the most difficult conditions. For success. And so if I'm able to pull it off, there's no more excuse. What are you doing with your life? Whoever's watching this, check back in 3 years. If I'm able to pull it off, what is your excuse? When? I shouldn't say if. 4,500 pairs of shorts is nothing. I can sell that. Easy. It's just out of my comfort zone because I have literally no idea what I'm doing at all. And this experiment will be live. I'm committing to something on camera now. I will self-fund a trip to every country in the world. And break the world record. Fastest trip to every country. Thank you. I'm